Zombie Phone Kids by Michael Garland. Ricky was a zombie phone kid. No one knows when it started. No one knows why it happened. Maybe it was the first time some mom or dad gave their kid a cell phone or a me pad to keep them quiet at the dinner table. Things just went straight downhill from there. It's hard to remember a time when kids played catch in the yard, or climbed trees, or read books, or painted pictures, or even talked to each other. When you saw a group of kids, they were each alone in the crowd, their eyes staring blankly at their screens while an eerie silence hung in the air. Kids played in their rooms or sat on the couch. They fiddled with video games or texted or played with endless apps as their skin turned cold. They watched videos until their brains buzzed and their first faces turned expressionless. Their eyes glowed blue with reflected lights from their phone and me pads. They never went outside unless they were forced. Teachers were the first to notice. It's hard to teach zombie phone kids. They never asked any questions. They fidgeted and were nervous when they were told to put their phones away. The teachers tried to ban them, but the parents complained. Libraries closed everywhere. At recess, nobody played kickball. Nobody swung on the swings. Nobody laughed or played tag. None of the kids talked to each other. They didn't even look at each other. They just stared at their screens. Large companies fought for control over the cell phone world until the Big Idea company finally won control over everything. Kids didn't have to think for themselves because Big Idea thought for them. Big Idea told zombie phone kids what they should like and what they shouldn't. Big Idea told them what to buy and what not to buy. Parents didn't notice anything wrong, so they went along. It was easier that way. It looked hopeless. But one day, something changed. Ricky was alone in his room, futzing with his phone, when his head started spinning. Once again, he had won the same game on the same phone for the 100th time. His eyes hurt. He was worn out. Ricky was tired and bored with his phone. What could he do? Usually, when this happened, Ricky would just switch to another device, his tablet or a gaming system. But today was different. He didn't want to play those same old games. Ricky remembered the basketball his grandfather had given him for his birthday, the one he had never even bounced once. It was in the basement. Maybe he could play with that. As he left his bedroom, Ricky noticed his fish tank. His goldfish was looking at him with a sad face. Sad because Ricky had forgotten to feed him again. Ricky fed his fish. He didn't really understand why, but he wanted to drop his cell phone in the tank and watch it float to the bottom. Instead, he buried it in the bottom of his dresser. As he walked to the playground, Ricky practiced dribbling on the sidewalk. He saw a few zombie phone kids, but they didn't notice him because they had their eyes glued to the phones. The playground was empty when Ricky stepped onto the basketball court. He missed shot after shot until finally one swished through the net. He threw his arms up in the air and jumped up and down like he had just won the world championship. Then Ricky heard clapping. He turned around to see a girl he hadn't noticed before on the edge of the court. "Nice shot," she said. "Thanks. Do you want to play?" That's when things slowly changed. Each day, more and more kids put down their phones and came to the playground to run and jump and talk to each other. The zombie spell had finally broken. Thank you very much. Now, what caused me to write this book? Because I saw myself, other children. I taught briefly in a few local colleges, and it was so hard for me to get the kids to put down their phones and pay attention to a class that was fun and that they had paid for. So I wrote this book. It's a satirical exaggeration of what really goes on, but I think kids are much better out at the playground playing basketball than sitting alone reading, playing with their phones. So that's all, and thank you for attending. If there are any questions, feel free to contact me and ask me. Thank you.